Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I've got a good scoring tile in the J. I don't have a bingo. And I have duplicate tiles. And it's not going to be hugely easy to deal with this. Well, I was looking for a play which got the J doubled. If one abandons that, as I have, then I do have jeered for 24. The rack leave is slightly vowel heavy, but I think that's okay. This is a reasonable set of 3 tiles. Am I sure there isn't a 5-letter play beginning with J? Yes, I am fairly sure. So, jeered for 24. Wow, I have flakier. It doesn't play at the moment, but it may do after my opponent plays. My opponent could be tempted to play a parallel play underneath jeered to get value from the J. So, do I have any bingos through these floaters? I note that I have the like ending with ARF. That doesn't provide me with anything. Jeered only takes an S after it. Wow, fantastic start for my opponent. 91 point double bingo. And I don't think he's provided anywhere for flakier. But there is a nice K spot next to the A. Day sail only takes an S after it. A few more floaters to consider. How about the A? Not seeing anything there. And the I? Also nothing. How about the L? I've got fall as a component part. No. So, I have flak for 40 points, which is a pretty good score, and this is a pretty good rack leave. Tempting to play freak for 9 more points. Is IL 9 points worse than IER? I don't think so. So I have freak here. What about playing Kef? 11 fewer points. Rail is a lot better than just IL. Tricky. I think I'm going with freak for 49. Not bad. I have Eidolon, which does play in row I. Does it play anywhere else? I don't think so. So how about floaters? What about the R of jeereds? Not seeing anything. Wow, close to Diolifin. Wow, 60-point play by my opponent. Absolutely on fire. Fortunately for me, Eidolon remains available. For 72 points. And I don't think I'm going to score much more than that if I play elsewhere, so I'm going with this. Not great, but not a disaster either. A play of goof would sort this rack out. I trail by 6, and I was expecting that to be more. My F doesn't go next to this I, but it does go underneath the E of Eidolon. I think it is a priority to burn one of the G's, even if the G is the only consonant on my rack. Great, opponent slowing down a tad. I was looking to see if I had a play placing my I underneath the Q, especially if the F was under the O, but I'm not seeing such a play. So I trail by 30. This spot remains available. I could play just OF for 26 points. That's not a disaster, although the rack leave is poor. Can I do better? Now my G can go next to this I, but then I have to burn the E, and that goes nowhere. So I have Doggo, 16 points. That's a lot less than of, but the rack leave is better. Just. Well, I do have a spot for goof. Up here, 30 points, and the rack leave is about as good as it's going to get. I was just wondering about maybe playing Fogey somewhere. Now, what about playing in row H? This is a spot I hadn't considered, over the top of Eidolon. So I've got Go-Go in that spot for the same number of points. But is that better than goof? GIE versus FIE. I think GIE is better. Although this is a hotter spot in row H, my opponent can score more there. And I am leaving floaters alone, but I trail, so I think it's fine to have a volatile board. And there's a little bit of GH synergy going on in row B. I'm going with this. I draw the V and the W. So I think my job this turn is simply to get rid of what I've drawn. So I have Withe and View on my rack. I have Weight through the H. Even if I can't play off the W and the V, it's important that I split them up. Wow, 50 points for opponent. I have EW in that spot, but I need to play off 2 of G, V and W because they are so non-synergetic. Which I think means weight. I note row L pretty hot for an S on the end of day sale with 3 S's and a blank to come. Wait for 26. I feel I'm playing this slightly fast. Have I really exhausted what's possible? Well, now what about a play down from the A? No, not seeing anything. I could play Wig. For 29 points, keeping TE with EV. Quite a lot of E's to come. I'm going with weight. Pretty horrendous. However, again, the rack itself does enable some resolution to its awfulness. I have ebb on my rack and the rack leave of EPRV, reasonably okay, and ebb plays above the T of weight for 23 points. I trail by 20. I can't place anything above EX in row H, which scores very much. Do I have anything down from the A? Don't think so. Great, just 8 points for my opponent. Now, EW is good. Wow, what a shame I don't have an EBB play. As in a something EBB play. So the best I can see there is Reb. Do I have anywhere for Perv? Well, I do. But I think I do want to split up the duplicate B. Let me see what this scores. 23 points. I'm not seeing anything massively better. Perv with the P next to the I in day sale. 25 points, and that takes E, O, and S, so not great. I'm going with ebb. Just the one vowel, so fairly grim. And opponents, well, I guess opponent was sorting out his U, so I can't assume he's got a bingo-y rack. Also, he was turning over 4 tiles, which again means I can't assume he's got a bingo-y rack. Okay, well, maybe he's got the vowels that I lack. 18 points. Now, I do still have this perv option in column 10. Do I have something better? Well, I do, I think. Perm for 47. LRV, if I draw vowels, could be okay. And in any event, perm is a jolly decent score. And I'm not seeing anything better. I can't substitute the V for the P in any way. I'm going with this. Okay, still just the one vowel. Maybe my opponent swamped. Let me see what the remaining vowels are. 14 out of 35, so slightly vowel dry actually. So column 1 remains available. Down from the A. Nothing there which works for me. What about row H? My H and V. Well, all of my consonants can go in front of EX, but I've got nothing to go in front of I. I do now have an I for going next to the G. Wow, I don't have any 3-letter VI plays. Gosh, nice bingo for my opponent. And he now is 50 points ahead, or 60 points, so I trail by a bingo. Remaining tiles pretty bingo-y. So I need to keep the board open or open it further. How can I do that? I certainly want to get rid of the V. Everything else is bingo-y. However, I have too many consonants. What I could do is play Verl. The rack leave is shit, but I think that's okay because it includes an S which can go on the end of Verl. So, Verl for 15. So, I think I have fight-ins, which would play in column 14, should that remain available. And it does. Fantastic. It may not be good, but I think it is. Is there anywhere better to play it? Don't think so. So fight-ins for 85. Wow, it is good. Splendid. So I now lead by 5, and I've got the Z. There are only 5 tiles in the bag. The bag's suddenly looking a lot less bingo-y with U, V and W in the mix. And very limited bingo lanes on this board. However, V and W, good scoring tiles. So the game is not over yet. Now, what can I do with my Z? I have Zeta in column 15. Wow, that's exactly where I was going to go. Opponent's emptied the bag. And he leads by about 30 points, so I need a big Z score. And I think I need to go out in 2. I don't think opponent can do very much with this rack, unless he's got a bingo I've overlooked. I can't see any big non-bingo-y scores for him. 9 minutes on my clock, which is good. I might need them. So, my really hot Z spotter's gone. What else do I have? I have Tiz for 36. but then I may struggle to go out with AAEIS, so I'd like to do better than that. I have SAS, but that provides an easy scoring spot for opponent. Wow, I think I have something nice here. Azan for 60. And look at this rack leave. EIST, sight and interest, sight and nis. I could stick an S on the end of Azan for an extra 5 points. But I think that S might be more valuable next turn. So this will do the job unless opponent has got a bingo. I've got 8 minutes on my clock. Does he have a bingo? NY takes an E and an S on the end. He surely doesn't. Okay, I've squizzed through the alphabet. I'm not seeing anything. I think Azan does the job. Let's find out. Bang. And it'll be interesting to see what other Z scores were available because I was struggling to see anything. I lead by just 28 points, so it isn't over yet, but I'm certainly going out next go, so I'd rather be in my position than my opponent's. Board just not looking that good. He's got Chew, Roo and U for about 30 points, but that's just going to draw him level. It's not enough. Now, what's the best I can do? Say sight for 16, 12 for sight and Nyes. Couple of anagrams of sight. There's ties and sty. Neither of those is presenting additional scoring spots. Column 15 not available for 4 tiles. Nothing goes between O and Po that I have. Opponent may be able to block both my outs. I don't think that's going to happen. Now, do I have something through this L? I have tiles. Great, just the 30 points. Anything I play is going to win. So, tiles for 19. Which is better than sight and interest, better than anything else I've seen. And it does the job, so I'm playing this. And the final score, 433 for my opponent, 456 for me, a winning margin of 23 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. What a fantastic game. So, it was me to go first. I had this rack. And I played Jerd, that looks fine. Fantastic bingo by my opponent, day sale for 91, superb spot. And he's now a bingo ahead. I have Flaky, nowhere to play it. Caliph available for 48, that's the play, I think. Except it does open row O to S plays, so I played Freak for 49, 1 more point. A worse rack lead, but not creating that danger. I think that would have been a tricky decision, and I may have gone with Caliph. Now, opponent's rack, Comique, a superb spot, 60 points. And now, somewhat fortunately, I have a bingo to go down, given that I was drawing 5 tiles, and we're now quite close. Opponent's rack plays Hamada. My rack, I struggled here and then found Goof for 30, which I was happy with. And I think that's better than Foo. Foo is 2 more points, but duplicate G, not great. Opponent's rack, he plays axe, and now I trail by 50 with GVW on my rack. About half the bag to go. Ute for 33, keeping G and V. What do? I play weight for 26, keeping EV. Is EV 7 points better than give? No, give may actually be better than EV. Difficult to say, they may be about the same. So yeah, Ute may have been a better play. Opponent's rack. So what did he play undug from? Yeah, he was just sorting out a bad rack in a really good way. Now I went through a succession of poor racks in the middle of the game when I was trailing, which dampened my expectations of doing well. This was one of them. Verb for 50. Wow, look at that. Verb, yeah, above the top of weight, not running down the column. 50 points, that would have been the play. And yeah, I was looking for EBB words, but there was an ERB one. So that was a big miss. I play ebb. Wow, that looks very bingo-y. Opponent plays OE. And now I have perm in the spot I missed the previous go, and I lead by 20. But not for long. Opponent bingos with interest. And now I'm back to where I was a few moves previously, trailing by 50 with a poor rack. So I play Verl to sort the rack out and create a new bingo lane. Opponent plays celery, and at this point I trail by about 60 points. But I have fight-ins for 85, which changes the game. Suddenly I lead by, well, only 5. But opponent hasn't got a fabulous rack. Plays envoy for 37, which actually is pretty good. I now trail by 30. But I have a 60-point Z play. So I considered Azan and its plural. C1 says for 54, pretty good. Not as good as Azan, but had I overlooked that, hopefully I would have found says. Caesar, N7. Okay, just 40 points. Well, quite a number of Z spots, but the beauty of Azan is that it gives me an easy out next go. Some of these bottom ones I would be struggling to go out in one. Opponent's rack. Yeah, nothing really better than 30 points, and that's not going to be enough. And finally I have tiles for 19. So absolutely cracking game, apart from the oversight of verb. I think most of the other plays were pretty reasonable, and opponent got off to a great start, and I struggled in the middle to come back, and then, well, I think fight-ins really totally changed the game. Playing fight-ins and drawing the Z and having a good Z spot meant that I was able to eke out a 20-point lead, when I think probably the odds were in favour of my opponent as we were approaching the end game. Anyway, super exciting stuff, so I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.